because yes, I always buy travel insurance for myself now because I've learned, I joke, you cannot control the crazy. There are so many things outside of your control. At the bare minimum, I tell clients, get yourself medical coverage and get yourself evacuation coverage. Now, chances are you're not going to need the evacuation coverage, but certainly I don't want to, I read these stories online. I've seen it happen where people do need like the plane with the nurse on board, and that's a lot of money. So, the very least, medical and evacuation coverage. And actually, those policies aren't very expensive. So, I always find it funny where people are like, I don't want to pay for insurance. I'm like, well, you know that actually it's only going to be like $50 for the medical and evacuation coverage. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Where travel insurance gets expensive and where people, I think, have objections to the price is when you're covering your trip costs in case of cancellation or in case of trip interruption. People generally think about cancellation, but they don't think about trip interruption. And so let's just explain that. Let's say, and I've seen all these scenarios happen, like the week before you're going on vacation, you break a leg or a family member breaks a leg. And now you don't want to go to Europe on crutches,
not a good look
right?
in the theater.
Yeah,
no.
and also like you don't want to be flying like so soon after breaking your leg. And that is when, if you've booked anything that's prepaid, non-refundable, those hotels are not going to just give you your money back if those are the rates that you've booked. So you want to think about the financial decisions you made for your trip and make sure that you're covered in the case of cancellation or, again, interruption, something that things people don't think about. So let's say you're midway through your trip and God forbid a family member is hospitalized or passes away. You want the flexibility to go home and not have to worry about how much is that rebooked flight going to cost, or you've got some hotels that you prepaid and are non-refundable for the rest of your trip. Like, can you get that money back? So I'm a big fan of insurance. I think people don't understand insurance, and that's a big reason why like some people are just like, no, I don't want insurance. But I think it's a good travel agent can explain it to you. We always say like we're not licensed. I'm not a licensed insurance agent, so there's always a limit to how many questions I can answer for someone, but I can provide high-level directional advice and then always connect you with my travel insurance partners for more detailed questions.